my name is Don, and welcome to Follow my Football Manager 17 Let's Play with Rangers. We are now on the 4th of February where we will play at home to Ross County. I'm going to cover the transfers first now. I was already here. I had a bit of sniffle, so I restarted the recording. So I've just literally gone through all this. I didn't want to hear you sniffling, but if my voice sounds a bit croaky, it's because I'm just feeling a bit meh, if that makes sense. Yeah. Anyway, so we brought in this guy Fred on loan. I'm not going to say too much about it. I was looking to try and sign him. His contract was expiring at the end of the season, but they renewed it for another year and put him on the loan list. He covers so many positions that we play. Not like some of these are just accomplished, but we could probably retrain him should we want to. His crossing isn't the best for the right wing, but as an inside forward could maybe do a job. Nonetheless, he's in on loan for the end of the season. Contract wise, we're paying £190 a week, which is fine by me. And he'll add some very good depth and probably just forces Cranshaw out of the team altogether. Scott Bain was the goalkeeper I was talking about trying to get. The board did agree to get to him. However, I need to actually discuss this as an issue. I'm going to go through the rest of the transfers first. I did also look at Jack Hamilton, who's got slightly better potential. We're both showing his 4-star potential from my scouts when I bought him, with Scott being 3.5-star now. So I thought, and he was a bit cheaper as well. So I thought if I bring in Scott now, he can come straight into the first team. We can sell Wes Foderingham and sort of develop from there. 1.2k wages a week. The board obviously negotiated all that. It's actually a reasonable contract. It's one I'm much happier with compared to the John Suter one, if I'm honest. No ridiculous wage rise, no minuscule sell-on fee. So I will be trying to renew John Suter's contract pretty soon, but nonetheless, he comes in and he does well. And it actually lowers our wage bill as well, I believe. And then we brought in Josh Donaldson. I'll explain where we got the money from this in a minute. 40,000, absolutely great potential on him if he can make it. Worry that I've got with that is he's got low determination and low work rate, but for 40,000, and I think there's an add-on of like 4,000 if he plays so many games. I just feel there's very little risk to that. Again, 300 week contract, so fairly cheap, fairly risk-free for a 16-year-old. Only other information that we've paid for anyone is Lewis Vaughan. We paid 5,000 in just signing on fees for him, so 45,000 spent out with Bain, so 45,000 spent off by myself. I did have more to spend than that, and I will go to that in a minute, but I didn't feel right spending it when we've already spent about 2.75 million over our original wage budget by requesting it to the board. But again, I'm going to explain something for that in a minute. Vaughan looks pretty decent. Poacher's the sort of one type that I actually like the look of him on. I don't think he's that great all round. 21 years old as well, so he's a bit old to develop as much as I would like, but he'll come in, he'll be a backup, and hopefully we can develop him again for 5,000. The estimated cost was 170 to 400k, so for 5,000 we've paid, we're going to have a decent sell-on player here, should things not work out. On the outs, we've got a lot of loans, the big ones being Jordan Thompson to Partick, Matt Crooks to Partick, Ryan Hardy and Josh Windass to St Johnson. Ryan Cinnamon Airdrie. I'm actually a little bit disappointed with him. My coaches now it just seems like he's not going to develop into the kind of player I wanted him to. I think he maybe could be about similar to Tavernier, but again, it's not the quickest, which I don't like in a fullback. So I think he'll probably be our backup right back next season, and then probably look to sell him on. And yet there it does say potential to be a Scottish Championship right back, so just nowhere near going to be ever good enough for us. Liam Kelly also on loan at Dundee. Was only a rotation deal, but I felt being in and around a first team squad is a good chance. And Joe Dodu's the other sort of major one. Jack Run, a little one as well, but not sort of major. But Joe Dodu away to Gillingham. They promised him first team football. I don't know if he's actually played. He has played 4 games so far. I'm actually, just while we're here, since he's actually started fairly poor, I can't talk to him about his loan yet. Okay, never mind. But again, they're paying for that at 4k per month, I think, something like that anyway. So hopefully he can go down there and develop at Gillingham in English League One. West Foderingham did get sold. 375k. I'm not really that happy with the fee we got for him here. He is worth $1 million now, but let's just remember that he is in the Premiership, rather as we're in the Scottish League, so that alone probably doubles his value. And I imagine reputation of clubs might be a bit higher on Stoke just now. I'm not 100% sure on that, but again, that's purely based on them being in England. There's just a little sniffle. I hope it didn't come through, just sort of a big brief just to try and cover it up. But yeah, so, but despite the fact that we have spent all that money, over 2.8 million near enough, on Bain and Suter asking the board to spend over what we had spent on McGinn, which was pretty much our whole original transfer budget. The board then decided, yeah, you can have 100% of everything that you've got from West Foderingham sale, or 80%, whatever. There was a lot in it. We were given 300,000 to spend, and I just don't feel right spending it. I will probably spend some of it, bringing in free transfers, and like signing on fees or whatever, but of that, there was, I think, 3 more that I looked at on top of the 3 that we've already missed out on. I missed out on Tam Scobie and Quatingo. And then, we got Vaughan. So yeah, there was another 3 we tried to get. One wanted 12 grand a week, which probably would have been negotiable down to what the maximum that we're allowed to spend on a player is. The problem is his agent locked that figure and just said, I am not accepting any lower than this. This is what we want. And I have to walk away at that point. Another was a die-hard Rangers fan who had a 4.5 star current ability according to my scout. Does currently play in the English Premiership, so wages were going to be an issue. And I just sort of offered my contract on the off chance. And he wanted 35 grand a week. We're only allowed to offer 9.8 or something like that. And again, you're just never going to negotiate that down. And he had interest from an Italian club as well. I think it was Chievo Verona. So even though he was very interested in Rangers, and he said his agent said as much, but we were just never going to be able to negotiate a deal. So I just backed out and saved wasting the time. And then there was one more, Conor McGrandles from Norwich, and we got a contract, we got a negotiation sorted. Unfortunately, Norwich offered him a new contract, which he accepted under similar conditions to Tam Scobie did. Talking of transfers now, let's have a look at Celtic, because there's been some big going on here, and I wouldn't normally cover another team's transfer history, but 18.5 million raising to 25 million for Kieran Tierney from Liverpool. I believe that is an all-time Scottish record for transfers going in or out of Scotland. Sensational bit of work by them. They also sold Gamboa for a small fee, fairly decent sized fee for Scotland, but still a relatively small fee when you talk compared to that. They did reinvest some of this money. I've not actually looked at any of these players. A couple of million for this lad. As a complete forward though, he actually doesn't look that bad. I would love to be able to get a complete forward. I just never really know the stats to look for. Now I do, because you can highlight them. So I might have to look at matching something like that in the summer window. That looks absolutely amazing for 2.1 raising to 3 million. That looks like a good deal. And then this lad as well, defensive midfielder, again looks a fairly decent player for the fee paid. Balance would be my issue with there, and in this kind of role, I do like a player with good balance. Don't want him getting pushed about by by attacking midfielders who have a little bit of strength about them. So onto the squad. This is how it looks right now. A fair amount of goal. Issue with Matt Gilks, he's now just requested a transfer. This literally happened yesterday. He came to me during the transfer window and said, listen, I want first team football, and I said, I will let you go. And he said, no, that's fine. I'll wait for my chance. In that time, we have played 3 games. And he's came back to me again and said, I want to leave. And I'm sort of like, I offered to let you go 4 weeks ago. What? We could have got a deal. We could have got you off the wage budget. That's 5k I'm now spending on wages for a player that doesn't want to be here. And Wes Fotheringham kicked up a fuss about going, he wanted to stay. I told him, tough beans basically. And the rest of the squad kicked off, and I had to convince the rest of the squad that it was the right thing. He had a couple of allies in the dressing room, I can't remember who they all were. I think one was Waghorn and one was Barton. Barton's the other issue. Barton, as I said in the last episode, has came in, being our sort of key player recently, despite the decline physically, being very, very good for us in the last few games. Say that, he's only hitting high 60s, but again, still, we've won a lot of games with him in the midfield, and he's played a lot anyway. And then he goes and gets injured for a few weeks at the time, slightly more than this, but still out for 45 weeks. And we just loaned out Matt Crooks. Jordan Rossettier, I think his suspension has now literally just been served the last game. Yes, that's now been served, but he was out as well, which left us with Andy Halliday as the only player who could play ball in midfielder in our squad. Not an ideal situation to be in. And again, Windass I think was maybe, yeah, he could play it, but I would not be comfortable with him there at this level anyway. Yeah, again, he was already out on loan by that stage as well. And I think Jason Holt, it doesn't even give me the option to look, it's probably that bad. I do apologise if there's any sniffles. I'm trying to sort of cover it as best I can, and I've already started this recording twice trying to get it, and I want to get it done. So I do really, really apologise. Other issues, Senderos got injured in the last game. He's out for 2 weeks. That comes onto this game. Danny Wilson, my fitness test says he can only do 60 minutes. He hasn't played since going out, God knows how long. Jordan Williams also will return this game, but again, it's only tipped for 45 minutes. It's a worrying thing, but I just don't trust Clint Hill. I genuinely do not trust this guy right now. And to be honest, if I could just get that $4,000 off the wage bill, it'd be absolutely perfect. He's had a couple of substitute appearances in the last few games. One was a tactical change where I decided to put John Suter into the midfield as a halfback. And then the last one was for Senderos getting injured, obviously. Lee Hodgson will also have to play this game because Tavernier is still suspended from the first Motherwell game. I will go into all that in just a second. O'Halloran's listed. Nobody's interested. I'm actually just going to take him back off the transfer list for now, just to try and protect that. Every time I go to unspecified there, it just does a wee ding on my computer, like another window's loaded up. I'm not sure why. I did also transfer list Nico Cranshaw, just try to get his 8k off the wage bill. Again, no suitors, and he was actually a bit upset that I did list them. But it's nice to see players are upset and they want to stay. Other than that, I tried to get Roddy McCrory out on loan. I tried to get Liam Burt out on loan. I think, no, he's down here. He got injured. I sort of joked at the time that Joey Barton actually got injured to stop me selling him. I didn't actually have him transfer listed, but I was hoping that he would. And the other player I tried to get out was Dean Brotherston. The issue I had is if he was to go out on loan, he had to go to Queen of the South. He'd already played for 2 clubs this season, so he couldn't actually go out on loan. There was interest in him as well, but other teams have obviously realised that and decided no. And as you can see, the rest of the entire youth team was up for loan. So we got out the players that we could. There was other players sniffing around people, or other clubs sniffing around people. Just never happened. This guy, are you on a youth contract? Can I just get rid of you now for like 3,100? No, thank you. 3 years, 3 months. Okay, whatever. I'll pay 3,100 just to get rid of you now, Matty. Financially, we look okay. We've still got 1.5 million in the bank, which is okay, but as you can see, it is rapidly declining. But then again, we have spent near enough 3 million over our wage budget. Results wise, the Hearts game got postponed. That will be played on the Wednesday after this game because we drew the first game to Motherwell. What a disaster that was. We never even led the game. It's Scott Bain's debut. I'm not blaming him for this. It's just an absolute sham of a performance, really, apart from Garner and a couple of other players going forward, but they couldn't do it by themselves. And again, I think Ainsworth's goal was an absolute cracker, if I remember rightly. Or did he score this game? It was an absolute cracker. No, this was Garcia. So that Ainsworth goal was an absolute stormer. Second time we played them, and the second of 3 times we played them in 10 days, we took the lead through Harry Forrester. They equalised just before half time, and then Barry Mackay scored again in injury time, and then the second half was just us seeing out the game. Again, just not really that happy with the performance overall. This game, James Tavernier came back in because he's not suspended for cup games. I actually played Lee Hodgson in the first Motherwell game just to try and get him some match fitness. We went 1-0 up, then it went to 1-1. James Tavernier, I'm actually going to show you this free kick because this was just different gravy. It is a free kick, and I know free kicks are maybe a little bit overpowered this year. I mean, I don't think they're overly overpowered, but I just think to go there, I think the keeper could maybe do better. He does get across, but I just think it's just put so well into the corner at the side that you wouldn't really expect him to go for. Scott McDonald equalised. There was talk of it being offside in game. It looked maybe a yard off to me, but then the game said afterwards, yeah, it was onside, and I was like, okay, fair enough. Then it's usually the post match is usually right. Harry Forrester put us back 2-1 up before they equalised. Again, there was talk of offside, and I didn't think the second one was offside. Then they went 3-2 up, and I'm like, oh no, this is a team that's bottom of the league. We should be beating them comfortably, and over 3 games, we have conceded 3, 4, 6 goals to them in three games. It's just not good enough, particularly when you consider we have one of the better defences in the league. And then Joe Garner and Barry Mackay, and Joe Garner respectively came to save us. So without further ado, we're going to get into this game because I think I've now been 17 minutes just trying to talk through everything that's gone on. Danny Wilson is going to start. I'm a little bit sceptical about it. Jordan Williams will come on at some point without a doubt. That's a sub that's already made. Anyone else? Not really that. I'm not really keen on playing. Rosetta, I'm a little bit shady. As you can see, he is wanted from Watford. If they still want him at the end of the season and they come in with a decent bid, I will sell him, but I'm not. He does still have all this potential that he can grow into, that it does show as like a black start, which I believe could grow into that. And he has said here that he could still improve. The other interesting one with interest is James Tavernier, who has Leeds interested. Now, Leeds is James's favourite club, and he has said in real life that he would probably want to play for Leeds. So if they do come in with an offer, I think I would just respect his wishes and let him go. Again, right back's a position I'm not really that happy with. He scores so many from free kicks though. I think I'm just going to run with this team. Wycord might have to come on up front as well, just for fitness. So we've got Bain in goal, Hodgson and Wallace at the back. I know I said Tavernier there just out of sheer habit. Wilson and Suter, I nearly said Senderos there again, just out of habit, because Wilson's been out for so long in centre back positions. Rossiter and McGinn in the holding mid roles. Mackay, Holt and Forrester are attacking options, with Garner leading the line. That looks a very defensive line here for Ross County, if I'm honest with you. Like, is there any player that's actually going to be over the halfway line apart from these two, apart from Boyce and Curran? And they've got 2 injured players as well, an injured player on the bench and a injured player on the park. Why have we still got critics? I don't know. We're unbeaten in so many games now. Yeah, we were poor against in Motherwell 3 games, but I still don't think we deserve any criticism now. I really should skip these, but I actually quite enjoy these sort of things. I do skip them when I'm not recording. It's just because I'm leaning back and in talk mode, really, that I'm sort of not skipping it. So Kilmarnock on the attack the net. Hodgson, why are you all the way across there? Look at all this space. You're leaving this guy. Oh my days. He just gets caught so far out of position for... Well, I don't know what reason why he's out of position by so much. But the one man that he should be worrying about in this game is Alex Schalk. And look at this. There's not even a guy within 40 yards of him. Maybe that's a bit of an exaggeration, but still. And then nobody marks Curran in the box. He manages to lose number 6. I think that might actually be Danny Wilson. I don't think you can blame Danny Wilson too much, but especially when he's not had a lot of game time recently through that injury. But still should be doing better there. But I think that's a lot of that was Hodgson's fault. Just so far out of position, chasing the ball. Holt here passing to Mackay, who can't really go anywhere with it, and he finds Rositter. Onto him again, into Garner. Again, he's just going to have the same issue. Oh, he actually manages to turn and find Holt, and that's a lovely finish from Jason Holt. Just the kind of situation Garner's in there, you just normally see them passing back because they've got nowhere to go, and he actually manages to sort of do a half turn and find the pass without getting challenged. It's actually a really good play from Garner. And then Holt just in a little amount of space. I'm going to call that okay amount of space because I've just seen the amount of space that Alex Schalk got. So I don't feel like being able to call that acres of space. Another decent effort from Holt there. Again, finds a lot of space, Jason Holt. I actually really like him for that reason. But again, I think long term I'm wanting a better option in that attacking midfielder role. And I think it would create so much more goals for us having a better attacking mid. And the unfortunate thing is McGinn can't play there for whatever reason. He could probably retrain him there, but I do like him in this role. And I want him to develop, and he's just not really developed. I think we maybe have to review our coaches at the end of the season and try and understand why. That said, oh, I thought that was going to go in there. Well, into the player, the wee ginger-haired lad, and I thought that was going to create a chance, but it didn't. But yeah, I think when you look at our coaches, we're the best in the league for fitness, and everything else is sort of above average. But players just aren't developing. Oh, that was a blooming good free kick from Harry Forrester, hitting the corner and the bar. Just millimetres from being a goal. Oh, that is a poor pass from Holt that time. Danny, I know you're not match fit, but you can get there. Oh, ref! Ref! What? Referee? Have a word, son. He's not even anywhere near the ball. Bain should do better. But, Jesus, come on, ref. Wallace plays it into Mackay, and he finds McGinn back on level terms. Feel that's quite justified. To be back at least on level terms here. I think we've been the better side. And that second goal from Ross County was... The linesman's got to at least flag for it, surely. Although that said, it could just be that it's a match engine's error. I'm actually just going to have a little look at match stats here. I've had 2 half chances, they've had 1 clear cut. Yeah, I'm just going to say this isn't good enough. I've only had 2 shots on target. So let's get back to team talk. I'm just going to be an aggressive, that's not good enough. I have faith, still couldn't get Suter back, and I have faith. Suter's actually our man of the match for the Celtic game. I have faith for the wrong guy. I still couldn't get McGinn back either. And he has, I believe he has anyway, as a low big matches thing. Certainly, it's not. I didn't see it flagged up this year actually, but certainly in previous FMs, it's one of the things that's always big and red. I was just kind of hoping Garner would get just like a little touch on that before it got to Fox, but he didn't, unfortunately for us. Going to bring off Danny Wilson now. Um, he's certainly not at fault for the second goal. Not going to blame him. He did do the right thing. Ben should have dealt with it even after the challenge, but oh my days, that's an awful pass. Good idea, but so far away from target. Jason Holt playing it into Garner. Garner's all on his own here. Needs to do some holding up, and he does it really well. And finds the midfield man in Rosetta. And now McGinn and Holt are just sort of playing past the parcel. So I actually really like McGinn. He just gets the ball back off people after a pass so often. Is that not a foul, Willie, or ref? Keeps the ball, but Garner, yes, get in. So, if the ref played an advantage there, it's great. I said something about a long-awaited return. I'm just going to rewind this just a bit, just because I want to hear the commentary here. So, we're going to come to... Go about here, right? I'm just going to play it. Oh wait, I need to skip the replay. Yeah, I just want to have a look at this commentary here. So, I've rewound it a bit too far, but it's fine. I do apologise if this annoys anyone. There was a strange bit of commentary, something about a long-awaited return. Alright, Williams, yeah. So both Williams and Wallace have made it, but because Williams just came off the bench, he's got that commentary. I thought it was something to do with the goal, and I was like, that's why I was so confused. We're going to bring off Rosetta because he's absolutely knackered. Had an okay game, not a brilliant game, and I think Isgrove might come on for Forrester for the next one, because Forrester's one of our worst performers, and the only other 6.7 is Hodgson, who I can't really do anything with. Or did I bring Ojidima on for Holt? I think I'm going to give Holt the full game, just because he's having a pretty good game, with his assist and his goal. So I'm going to bring on Isgrove for Forrester. Both for similar levels of fitness. Going to pause just quickly. And we're going to just try and see out this game now. Play even safer, slightly higher tempo. There we go. And confirm changes. Yes. Just try to see out the game rather than actually chasing another goal. Just don't think we need another goal, and we've been a bit shady at the back today. So let's just try and see it out. Holt into Garner, goal. Every time I go to try and the Celtic game, the last time I done a live commentary against the Celtic game, right? We're going to play for a 0-0, and Garner comes up and finds a goal. And here I'm just like, right, I'll just try and set out the game, happy with 3-2, and Garner comes up and finds a goal, which does steal us the 3 points, and I'm not complaining about it by any stretch of the imagination. It's just strange to see that when we are sitting back, we're scoring goals, which I never used to see on old Football Managers when I went with this sort of sit-back tactic. And that's a 4-2 win for us. A little bit disappointing overall. I feel that should be so much more comfortable. The ref was an absolute joke. Yeah, there you go. So the game's criticised that as well. They only had 2 shots on target. Scott Baines had an absolute howler to start for the club, to be honest with you. But overall, that puts us in good stead. I should have showed the league table before that game, but we'll correct that wrong now. So we are 4 points behind Celtic now. Did Celtic just slip up there? Or did they play yesterday? Oh, they slipped up against Aberdeen yesterday. Yeah. So we are now very much back in a title race. There's clear daylight between us and third place in Hearts. 11 points clear, with a far better goal difference. Far worse than Celtic's, obviously. We'll actually go to stages and try and see this full. Yeah, so Celtic have scored more and conceded less. Hearts have scored slightly less but conceded a lot more. So as you can see, our defensive record is actually extremely good in this division. Apart from Celtic, everyone else is conceding it around about. I think Hearts is next best actually, and they've got near enough 10%, 50% more goals conceded than us. So that's a really positive thing to see. But what's more positive? Look at this form. Win, 5 wins on the bounce in the league. So I'm not that bothered about the cups this year. If we can just compete in the league, I'll be happy. Anyway, this is where I will leave it. We will come back for Celtic next, I think I said. I would say St Johnstone, but we've already done St Johnstone, and the Celtic game's just such a much bigger game. Why do I always have to play St Johnstone 3 days before Celtic? That's annoying. Yeah, so we'll come back for the third Old Firm game of the season and the third recorded Old Firm game of the season. And then Aberdeen. So yeah, Celtic, Aberdeen, I think is what I said the plan was last time, and I think I'm going to stick with that plan. So thank you very much for watching. If you liked, a like and a subscribe would be vastly appreciated. Other than that, thank you very much for watching.